afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, September 19th, and I'm out here in the garden. I want to give you guys just a little bit of a tour. It's not giving what I was expecting it to give, but it's okay. So let's check it out. So here I have those Chinese, I call them Chinese melons. They are delicious. They taste just like the ones I got from the grocery store. And I just took one of these, split it in half, dropped it in the dirt, and this is what I got. Also, I put some sweet potato vines in here. They are popping up everywhere. Also with some basil, the purple basil. Over here in this bed, I have tomatoes that I have topped off, and they have started to regrow. I cut them down. They decided to come back, and I still have some cherry tomatoes here and some more green ones down there. And every time I cut this vine here, it finds its way back to the ground, and then I cut it again and it comes back once more. Over here is the peach tree. We got a few peaches off. They were sweet. Most of them, if you can remember from one of my previous videos, they split after we got that heavy rain, and I was thinking that they would get ripe, but they did not. Here's the first raised bed that we planted, that we even put up. I have just randomly thrown seeds in here. I'm trying to fill it up to give it less space for grass and weeds to grow in. I have some bell peppers here, several of those plants there, the marigolds, along with some more basil. Trying to protect these tomato plants, but the worms still got me. But I was able to get more tomatoes, and now I'm out here watering. Also, I have a tree up front. It's called an Arkansas black apple. So the tree was like maybe 10 feet. I just went and whacked off part of the top because I want to regrow it. I want to have more than one of those Arkansas black apples. Those are like the old school, old-fashioned apple trees. Apples from back in the day when I was a kid. The apples were really dark, a dark red, deep dark red. Over here I had some corn. It didn't give what I expected, but hey, maybe the next time will be better. This was the purple corn. It got tall, pretty tall. It's finally decided to tassel, and I think we have a few cobs on here. Let's walk in and take a look. It's always got lizards, I know that. So here's some corn that I forgot was on here because I didn't think this thing was gonna do anything, and it really hasn't. It's not even worth pulling off, so I'll just drop it. Over here I have some okra. I didn't plant a lot this year because I've been kind of busy trying to hone in on another craft of mine. So taking on a big garden was not something that I wanted to tackle this year. So maybe next year it'll be better. And I know I don't post a lot because I just don't have a lot of time, but I'm trying. Also, let's see what else we have here in the garden while I'm out here walking around looking. Just some elephant ears. This garden bed here where I used to have lots of stuff, tons of beans or greens and peas, it didn't do anything because we have a mold problem. Too many holes from the mold. So I just said we'll put down some tarp, just smother out all the grass once I till it and make it level so we won't trip over the humps down here. I took up the panels that I had there that were here holding some beans from last year. Also, I have here a cucumber vine. Now the cucumbers didn't do too well. I don't know why, but it seems like the second time in the past 2 years I've had a problem. But I was able to get enough cucumbers to make pickles last year. Also over here I would like to show you my passion fruit vine. Now I know it needs water. Oh, and I forgot I had the water running. Y'all hold on. Also, we have been being bothered with a bunch of snakes this year. I'm gonna blame it on the pond that got built next door. We had a snake problem before, but now it's like every time I turn around, there's a baby snake or there's a bigger snake, one about 8 feet long, one about 6 feet long. Black. water moccasins, I guess you want to call them. Also here, I wanted to show you, still have the water running, my passion fruit vine that I have along beside. Sweet potatoes that are still in the pot. They need some water, they need some attention. Also here is the passion fruit vine. I have two. This is the smaller one. It's in a bucket. I have the other one in a pot in the ground. So let's walk over and take a look and see how it's doing. But first, let me show you my herb garden. I did do a raised bed. This is oregano. This is basil. These are bell pepper plants that are starting over, giving me new life once again. And the basil is taking over the whole bed. Basil just outgrows everything. Also, I have some sage down here. I do collect my sage and dry it, use it in my meats. Also, I put some arugula. Arugula is a kind of pest resistant to a point. I have some up front in a pot and it is doing fine. Here I have some lemon thyme. Now I was really hoping that this thyme would do better. I have some right over there. It's not growing as fast as the sage or the basil. Here I also want to show you the other passion fruit. So if you know these flowers, these are the passion fruit leaves. And I have it in a pot, like I stated a few minutes ago, in a pot in the ground because of the mold problem that we had. Y'all forgive me, I'm pulling out some grass while I'm down here. So I wanted to show you that little red pot there. Now I'm gonna walk on over here, and the vine runs up and over across the trellis. So I'm just getting in from work and I wanted to check out everything. And next to it is a peach tree that I cut back last year, and it didn't give us anything. It's kind of sad looking. So y'all, guess what? I just looked up at this passion fruit vine. You will not believe. First time ever. Oh my goodness. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. I may get some fruit this year. Oh wow. Oh wow. There are a lot of flowers everywhere. Oh, look at this. Can y'all see that? These flowers are everywhere. I was not, this is a great surprise to come home to. It's taken over this tree. There are more flowers. But y'all, ain't that pretty? I never thought I would actually get this thing to bloom. I didn't think this year that I would actually see these flowers. What a surprise. So maybe before we get some cold weather, I may get to taste my own passion fruit. These passion fruit seeds came from, okay, so to jog my memory, I had to pause the video and think for a minute. The passion fruit came from a friend of mine who I met on TikTok. Yeah, I know y'all say TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. You can find a lot of amazing people on TikTok. Lots of great information. Some good, some bad, some true, some not true. But also when he sent me those seeds, he sent me some ice cream bean seeds as well. Now I haven't got anything from the ice cream bean because I put it in a greenhouse during the winter, and I think this is year 3. So we should get something just like we're getting from the passion fruit. But I didn't plant the passion fruit until I think last year, and then I put it in the ground like midsummer, like the beginning of summer, and I didn't actually think it was gonna do anything, but it did. So here is a picture of the ice cream bean plant that I got from him. He sent me a couple of pods and I kept the seeds, and they died back, and I thought they were through. But here is that ice cream bean giving new leaves. Every day I come out and I check it. It requires a lot of water. Let me back up a little bit so you can see how big it really is. Now it was taller but I topped it off. And as you can see down here, it put out several different shoots because there was only one stalk. And then it made multiple because it died back. And I'm just glad it did. My husband was like, be patient. Just be patient. You're rushing things. It'll come back. It'll come back. Also, while I'm on this tour of showing you the ice cream bean, let me show you star fruits. Yes, I did say star fruit. Star fruit trees that I started from seeds. I think this is their 3rd year also, but they haven't given me, this is their 3rd year. They haven't given me anything, but here's one of them. Star fruit. Right here in the middle of everything. I didn't know how it would tolerate the heat, so I had one here shaded by all of the citrus that I have growing. Here's the kumquat. It's supposed to be a blood orange, but I have yet to see an orange pop out on that thing yet. This is a lime tree. It had limes last year, and it will produce again. And also threw some of those seeds from that melon in one of these pots. Forgot about it, and it grew. So I've been getting melons from the back and the side yard. Also over here, while I'm back here, got a good picture of that ice cream bean. So I took out one of my apple trees. It was in the ground and it wasn't doing so well, and I wasn't happy about it, so I put it in a pot, and then the bugs started to eat on it. Like I said, this year has been kind of rough with the bugs. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not even trying to figure it out. I also would like to show you guys, excuse my porch, because this is what I do. This is the grapefruit. Now, every year for the past 3 years, we have been getting grapefruit. And I had one person ask me, well, how big do the grapefruit get on your tree? And I say, normal size. What do you mean how big do grapefruit get? They get the normal size. So let me turn this camera back around for you. So there's the grapefruit. Now I'm going to put my hand next to it so you can see how big it is. Now I've got small hands. If I can get this tomato plant out of the way. This is the grapefruit. It's the size of a softball. And there are several more growing on it. This is turmeric. Here is a moringa tree. I have a couple of more. I have 2 in this pot actually. And I have a couple of more growing on the front. And a tomato plant that just volunteered. I don't know how it got in here. Nope, this is a birds of paradise. My bad, y'all. Birds of paradise. Well, I'll take that back. Birds of paradise is in. There's turmeric in here also. I don't know how things happen, but they just happen. So I've got 3 things going on in one pot. Birds of paradise, turmeric, and a tomato plant. And the tomato plant has blooms. Imagine that. Here I have another turmeric plant. Y'all just go with it. There is ginger growing inside this pot as well. Yes, I said ginger. I don't know how these things happen. Maybe I just forget what one looks like and just, let me just throw it in the pot with the rest of the stuff and hope for the best. And I think that's what happens. Also, I'd like to show you, this is the Buddha's hand that I recently got in the mail, and I posted a video about it. Well, as you can see, it's gotten pretty tall from the first video of it. I cut off a piece because you know me, what I plan on doing, duplicating everything I can. Also back here, I just have things kind of scattered. Nothing is uniform, nothing is in the same place because I don't want to take chances of the bugs finding everything. Y'all, it is hot out here. It's like in the 90s, and the time, oh my goodness, it's 5:37. There's a bell pepper. I told you I just got random things. And inside that pot with the bell peppers are rutabaga seeds. I'm determined to get rutabagas this year. Here I have a Anybody guess? Can anybody guess what this might be? Anybody? Anybody? Well, this is a mango tree. And I recently topped it off and stuck this piece in the dirt. And I just pulled these leaves off today. There were some more leaves. I took them off just to put more energy into the rooting system. Hopefully it'll take. So it's been in this pot for like maybe a week and a half, and it's still green. So I think that's a good sign. Also, you can see here where I cut it. It's giving new leaves, and right in there it's giving more leaves. The little you see right there. Yeah. So it was a bit tall, and I didn't want it to be leggy, so I cut it. Now I'm walking over to another one of those starfruit trees that I started from seeds, and here it is. Now this one is really tall, but that's it. So there are 3 in this one pot. There's a starfruit tree here and a starfruit tree here. And they are all doing good, doing good. Also, this is a Meyer lemon. And yes, we have lemons. Not limes, but lemons growing on this tree. Sitting in another pot with another blood orange that has yet to give me any oranges. Also right here, we have another orange tree. We're just waiting on it to do the same thing that one did. And that's give us some oranges. All right, so just off to the side, well, right behind the house and right behind the fruit trees, we have more chickens. And y'all, I thought I said all of the turkeys had passed away and I was done with turkeys. But do you guys see that white one right over there? You know, that is a turkey. We thought it was a chicken. I was like, what's wrong with that chicken? Why does he look different from the rest? And why won't he grow some feathers? My husband said, baby, that's not a chicken. That's a turkey. Look at the beak on the turkey, on that bird compared to the beaks on the other ones. Look at the legs. They're still not right. And when he stands, he, she, whatever, when it stands, it's taller than the rest of the birds. So I was just like, well, maybe that'll be the first one we eat, until he said it was a turkey. Now, fingers crossed that it's a female. We can get eggs, but unfortunately, we can't get fertilized eggs. Unfortunately, because I don't have a male turkey, and I don't think I want to get a male turkey. I'm good with what we have here. So I'm on my way back here to this other garden that's in the back, where the chickens that were laying, my laying hens, all got destroyed, and I turned it into a garden. We have, as soon as I walk in, you see the butternut. Oh, there's one under there. Okay, well, surprise. Look at that. This thing is doing great. Butternut squash is here. Here are the turnips over here where I planted earlier, the same time that I planted these. This is the sorrel hibiscus. Not sorrel, I'm sorry. I call it cranberry hibiscus. Where you take the calyxes off and you dry them, and you can, save them and make tea. You can also use the leaves, eat the leaves, the flowers, because they are in the okra family. In case you didn't, you can eat the leaves. No, you can eat the flowers of the okra plant. Maybe even the leaves. I'm not sure. But you can eat those leaves. Squash. You guys see this? Mosquitoes are in my ear, so I will not be out here long. I don't want to get bit. And as you look down here, there is another one, another surprise. And I think there are more on the other. Oh yeah, there's one right in there. Zoom in there. There you go. These things are doing good. Is all I can say. And now it's just a matter of time for me to wait for the little tendril to get brown enough. I know you can pull them when they are a little green, but I don't want any green. I want to wait as long as I possibly can. Like, you can see the green here versus a little green there. So I don't want them to be that green, and I don't want them to be green. I want them to be what a butternut squash is supposed to look like once it's ready to be eaten. And as y'all can see, it's still putting out flowers. That's a male flower, of course. And back there is, the corn that I did do a video on. I just haven't had time to post it because working full time and trying to do another craft takes a lot of my time. And down here is another one just decided to pop up. So, oh, there's another one. Okay, right in there. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, a 7, 8, 9, 10. And there may be some sprouting out the back. Because when I say this thing is just taking over the backyard, and I am letting it, I am not stopping it. I want it to grow. Just grow. Just give me as many butternut squashes as possible. All right, so I think that'll about do it. I guess y'all hear the ducks in the background. I guess I can go over and get a picture of those right quick. I think they want to be on camera. But now all of a sudden they want to get quiet when I decide to say, hey, let me go over there. Let me walk over here and see what they got going on. What's up, my ducky friends? They are so noisy. So noisy. And yes, ducks are disgusting. Disgusting. But very dependable when it comes to egg laying. They will lay rain, sleet, or snow. You don't have to worry about not having eggs. And I've got to do a little research to figure out how old they are before they start laying eggs. So I have 2 males and 4 females. 2 of the black ones are drakes, which is the male, and the other ones are the females. So I think that'll just about do it for me in my garden. I think I may have one more thing that I want to show you guys. It's going to take me a minute to walk back to the front of the property, so I'm going to pause and be right back. All right, I finally made it to the front. I had to do a little hustling. So if I'm sounded winded, it's because I had to run up a hill. So here's what I got. More tomatoes. Zoom out. More tomato plants. Here is the papaya. Y'all not gonna believe this. This papaya tree I thought was done for last year or the first of this year. So I went out and bought another one. Just so I would have one because they are such pretty trees. Well, it wasn't done for. Here's the comfrey. Not about the comfrey right now. More basil. Gooseberries, which I have been eating. And they don't taste like all that whatever. Also here I have a Barbados cherry tree. That'll come into the garage because the last one I had, it died. But here is what I'm looking for. Papaya fruit. Growing on this tree. This was the original trunk that died back from the cold, and I cut it, the part that was dead, thinking, okay, well, this will be okay. Not knowing if it would survive, but I don't know what's up with that part. Okay, leaves. Yeah. So this is the papaya tree. And it's doing really good. Really good. Now, once again, oh man, I just nicked it. I may not get any flowers. I may not get any fruit. But I didn't mean to nick it. But that one's pretty big. This one, compared to this one and that one. So we have 3 so far. And it's still blooming. There's one. Here's another. And there are more flowers. For those of you who have not seen these flowers on a papaya tree, let me get a closer look for you. Let me get close in here. Here's a flower. the flower will eventually turn into one of these. That right there. That's the largest one that's on here. There's another one. And right up above it, on the other side is another one. But they go from like these little things here. If I can get the camera to focus. From like here to here. From here to here. And then they open up to here. And then you get those fruit. Now we may or may not get any before it gets cold, but fingers crossed for me to get some. And I was so impatient thinking it was not going to survive or come back because the cold got it last year, and I cut it back and it grew out 3 different separate branches, and each branch has flowers and has fruit. But I was so impatient, I bought another tree. Papaya tree. I refuse to not have a papaya tree in the yard. Here I have more basil, gooseberry, which is giving berries. I have tasted the berries. They are not all that, but they are berries. Here's the comfrey, still growing, still producing, getting bigger, has gotten bigger. Zoom out, you can see all of it. And it's spreading. You know, once you have comfrey, you never have to worry about it because it'll forever be there. Also a Barbados cherry that will be in the garage this year because last year the one I had died. It took a hit from the cold because I didn't protect it well enough. Here is ginger. So I just kind of haphazardly, nothing grows uniform in nature, so why should it grow uniform here? So I got things planted here and there. I have bell peppers here, bell peppers there, bell peppers in the back, tomatoes on each side. I think I even have a tomato plant in the garage. I know I have them on the porch. Yeah, I have bell pepper plants on the porch along with tomato plants, more basil, marigolds. Y'all, it may not be uniform. You may not understand. And I don't even think I understand this time. But I planted a lot of stuff. I'm walking up to the porch right now so you can see. So I can at least tell you or show you. I had someone ask me if I could grow, would figs produce in a pot? Would a fig tree produce in a pot? And yes, a fig tree will produce in a pot. The reason why I know is, and you guessed it, I have a fig tree in a pot. Here's a fig tree. Here are the figs. Here is the tree. And yes, it's in a pot. Imagine that. I still have the guava tree in a pot. It gave me a flower, but I didn't get fruit. So I'm going to try to convince my husband to put it in the ground, even though he said it's tropical, it won't survive, but we won't know unless we try. And I don't think I want to keep it in this pot forever. Next to it is pomegranate. This is what I started from seed. Let me give it a shake so y'all can see the whole tree here. This is a pomegranate. Inside here, I have a strawberry plant in that red basket. Next to it, I have a pomelo. That's the pomelo. That's a pomelo. Here are can't think of the name of them right now because y'all, I got so many plants, it's just ridiculous. But as soon as I think of the name of it, I will put it in the video. And there's one up there that we have separated. So I can't think of the name of them. And then here I have more pineapples growing. Now they may not give me fruit this year, or may have to wait till next year, but either way I'll get fruit from those pineapples. And right here, I'm gonna pick this one up. This here is let me walk out here. More lights. And put her on the table so you can see what she is a soursop. Now I've been taking off leaves and cutting it back, and every time I cut it gives more leaves so I can save them and dry them and drink the tea. And in case you're wondering, the leaves really do help you sleep. Soursop tea does help you sleep. Ask me how I know. I tried it and the leaves, they work. So I think that's just about gonna do it for me today. Being out here in this heat, in these 90-degree temperatures. By the way, that tree is called a cherimoya. It took me a minute, but I figured out the name. I'm gonna have to write the names on all of these because there are like 8 of these plants, and I have to write the names on them on a piece of tape so I don't forget what they are, because my mind totally went blank. I have so many plants. Oh gosh, y'all know what? I know I said bye, but I forgot one. Let me tell y'all what it is. I'll just put the camera down. This is my Jabotacaba, the grape tree. It's a bonsai. Now when I got it, it was this small. Now look at it. And there it is. It likes the outdoors, so I decided to leave it out here. Now when the temperature changes, I will bring it back inside. Okay, now I'm done. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.